The Knicks are one game away from being the number one seed in the Eastern Conference, but there is a lot of smoke surrounding this basketball team suggesting a trade could be coming. We're going to dive into that on today's show. But first, I want to say thank you to every single person that has subscribed to this channel. On last night's watch party, we crossed over 83,000 subscribers. Thank you. And the show, it continues to grow. So if you want to be a part of it, hit that sub button right now. This is Knicks Now by Chat Sports, and I am your host, Marshall Green. Could a trade be coming for Leon Rose, Worldwide West, in the New York Knicks? For the first time in a long time, I think it's fair to say the New York Knicks may be too deep. And what I mean by that is, look, it's a great problem to have this many players that can play and be effective. But I think we saw in the win last night for the New York Knicks, there was just too many players playing. I mean, 12 players played, and you didn't get to see all that much of Tyler Kolek. And Miles McBride barely played in the first half. Josh Hart didn't even play in that ball game. Mitchell Robinson didn't even play in that ball game. There is something to be said about Mike Brown willing to play everybody on this roster and has trust and faith in everybody on this team to be successful. But when everybody is healthy, when you get Josh Hart back, when you get Landry Shamet back, and you have Mitchell Robinson playing every single night, what are the Knicks going to do? And let's focus into the point guard and shooting guard and wing spot if you want to. Brunson's playing 35 minutes. You know Mikal Bridges is playing 35 minutes. Then you have guys like Miles McBride who have to play every single night. He's that good. Tyler Kolek has showed you over the last month he should probably play every single night. He's earned that. And Jordan Clarkson, he needs to play every single night because of his ability to score the basketball. And it is hard to create a rotation where minutes are distributed in a way that's going to help your team win when you have Brunson and Bridges and McBride and Kolek and Clarkson and still a 6'4" Josh Hart and Landry Shamet coming back healthy. Like Ian Begley lets everybody know, Landry Shamet's shoulder, he's doing full on-court basketball activities and is working his way to contact. As noted at the time, Shamet should be able to fully recover without any procedures, should be back next month, barring any setbacks. And I think it's safe to say that Mike Brown really liked Landry Shamet. He was playing him 21 minutes per night, and Shamet made the most of those minutes, shooting almost 43% from downtown and averaging 9.3 points per game. Most he's averaged in a while in this league. And then you have young guys that have been showing you over the last couple of days and weeks and games that they can contribute, that Mike Brown trusts them. I mean, Mohamed Diawara is starting in the place of Josh Hart. Had 18 points last night. Kevin McCullough was awesome in the win on Saturday against the Atlanta Hawks. And you now have a great problem on your hands. You have a glut of bench players that can come in the game, contribute, and deserve minutes. And the New York Knicks, they handed out their biggest contract this offseason to Guerschon Yabusele. And he has arguably been the most disappointing player on this roster. The Knicks did not pay Yabu 3 times the veteran minimum to be a non-impact player that doesn't even play all that much. He's averaging 9.8 minutes per game. And he's averaging 3 points, 2 rebounds, and shooting 34% from 3 and less than 41% from the field. And with the way that he has played, or I guess the lack of important and impactful minutes he's played, that makes him a trade candidate. And the New York Knicks know that you're probably not going to get all that much back in a Guerschon Yabusele trade. So they're going to have to add to that. But as we know in the modern day NBA, when you talk trades, you got to talk salary. It's $5.5 million. You add another player to that, you approach $10 million, you can get a pretty good player back in return. We'll take a deeper dive into today's show, but first, I got to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, that is Prize Picks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app in the game. Shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring Today's show this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. Whether you're starting a new routine or making player picks for the first time, trying something new can be hard. But in life and on Prize Picks, it always feels good to be right. With high-pressure playoff matchups every weekend and elite hoop action as well almost every night, the action never stops. And Prize Picks lets you take control. Prize Picks now has early payouts if your player gets off to a hot start, and you have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. With the new social feed features, you can share Prize Picks with your friends and copy lineups as well. So maybe you want to copy my lineup for NFL Week 18. I am taking Christian McCaffrey to get into the end zone more than half a rushing or receiving touchdown, and I think Quinn Ewers is going to throw for less than 188 yards. You can roll with my picks or fade my picks. Just do it at Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. I was told on Christmas that the Knicks are actively shopping Deuce McBride. And I think when you talk about the $5.5 million salary of Guerschon Yabusele with Miles McBride making $4.5 million and him having this year and next year on the deal and then likely to leave in free agency for a major payday, which I'm not sure the Knicks can make work, they're probably packaging those players together with a handful of second-round picks to see what they can get back. And I get the idea of that. But I think it could be a very bad decision to trade Miles McBride. He has been awesome this year. He's raised his game to another level. He makes winning play after winning play. Go back and rewatch that fourth quarter in the last night's win for the New York Knicks over the New Orleans Pelicans, and he made game-changing play and game-sealing play. And over the last 11 games, he's playing like one of the best bench guards in the NBA, averaging 14.6 points per game. He's shooting almost 47% from the floor, nearly 50% from downtown on north of 7 threes a night. And in those 11 games, when he's on the floor, the Knicks are outscoring their opponents by 127 points. Like, he has made a major impact on this team. And I'm not so sure that I want to say goodbye to Miles McBride. And if the Knicks do trade Deuce, they better be getting back a hell of a player as well, because Deuce continues to get better. He's on the books for next year, and he's cheap as well. Like, that's not a player that's just sell off to sell off. So you better get a good player back. And I think with the glut the Knicks have at that guard spot, like we talked about with Kolek, Clarkson, McBride, Brunson, Bridges, McCullough, Hart, like, they need another wing. They need another big. I think we saw in that game against the Pelicans last night, when Ariel Hukporti and Trey Jamison have to play a combined 22 minutes per night, probably not the best thing in the world. Ideally, Yabusele was just good and he would do everything that we need. But he hasn't been playing that way. So look for Yabu to be traded. Look for a piece to be added to that, whether that is Kolek, whether that is a guy like McBride. Maybe it is somebody else. But the need for another wing, the need for another big is serious. And I promise you, these conversations are going on inside the Knicks front office. Like, Leon is not going to sit on his hands. And you are one Mitchell Robinson injury away from being in a really bad spot at that center spot. And with him not playing every night, being an injury-prone player, you might want to get in front of that before it comes to bite you in the butt. You look at the entire cap sheet for the New York Knicks and where they sit and how they could make a trade. You're going to send out Pacome Dadier, it's $2.8 million. Can you add his $2.8 million with $5.5 for Guerschon Yabusele, throw in that fake first-round pick from the Washington Wizards? Can you get back maybe someone that can contribute? There's been a lot of people telling me, Marshall, got to go out and get Tari Eason. I'd love to add Tari Eason for this team. How are you making that happen? Are you ready to give up Tyler Kolek? The Rockets need a point guard. Maybe that could be a part of the deal. You'd probably have to add some sweetener as well. There's a lot of things the New York Knicks could do. There's a lot of players that they can go and trade for. And if you guys want a trade target video where we take a deep dive into who the Knicks can acquire and pursue for the money that they could be willing to send out, hit that thumbs up icon, as we are less than 2 months away from the 2026 NBA trade deadline. I think they have to make a trade. I think they're going to make a trade. I know they're the 2 seed in the East, but this team isn't going to sit on their hands and not try to get better. If they could take 2 players and make them into one and upgrade their team, They're always going to do that. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram @MarshallGreen_.